Today I wanted to do a first impression on the Maybelline Matte and Poreless Fit Me foundation. I'm going to be using the color 110. This is what the bottle looks like. Let me tell you what led me to decide that I want to try this particular one. I have the other Maybelline Fit Me, and that's Dewy and Luminous, I believe is what it's called. I'm not really sure. I will link that foundation down in the description box, as well as anything else that I use or talk about here in this first impression. I am dry. My skin type is very dry, but it's also maturing. As far as my skin type goes, it would be a more obvious choice to go with the other one, the dewy one that they offer. But what I've been finding in this search for my perfect holy grail foundation is that anything that is dewy, luminous, anything like that is really just highlighting my aging areas, my more mature skin, and making me look older than I already am. I thought, why not try something more mattifying and see if that could potentially work better than these dewy, luminous types of foundations. So that's where we are right now. I went out and got this Matte and Poreless because I'm really hoping that the matte won't highlight or accentuate any of my places that I would rather not be highlighted or accentuated. So that's where we are. So I've already gone in with my primer. The primer that I use and am pretty obsessed with is the Stila One Step Correct Skin Tone Correcting and Brightening Serum. Of course, I wash my face, I moisturized, and I put my beauty oils on. I do recommend, if you are more of a normal to dry skin type and you want to try this foundation to see if it helps you not look as old as your skin might think that you are, I do recommend going in and making sure your skin is really well moisturized. It is going to cling to dry spots if not. So exfoliate, moisturize, and lather your skin up in all the oil that you can get your hands on. That way it gives your face a good foundation for this more drying foundation to sit on top of. So let's see how this goes. I am just going to kind of pour some of this on the back of my hand. And I'm just gonna put it right on my face with this foundation brush from BH Cosmetics. I like to use this to put it on, but I won't use this to blend it out. I find that the Real Techniques Beauty Sponge works much better to get a more flawless finish when it's blended out with a sponge. Also, when you're using a more drying foundation, the beauty sponge is really great because you want it to be, you really want it to be, you know, the sponge is damp, so it'll just help in this whole thing. And what I'm gonna do is apply a couple of drops of my rosehip oil right onto the sponge. Rosehip oil is bomb if you are dealing with maturing skin. So I'm just gonna go in with my damp beauty blender, well, beauty sponge anyways, and I'm just gonna dab this in. I don't like to drag foundation or any makeup for that matter around my face. I just think it works better and it looks nicer when you dab. It leaves more of an airbrushed appearance, final look, an airbrushed look. You know what I'm saying. It seems to have sort of a medium coverage. I prefer full coverage foundations, but I'm not really sure how realistic that is with my aging skin, because I find that it cakes up a lot easier. I ended up using that whole amount that was on the back of my hand. So, I mean, obviously a sponge is gonna suck up a lot of stuff and it ends up making you use your foundation a lot quicker. But it's just so worth it. I just love the finish that it leaves. Okay, so that's the first cover. Whoa, I almost dropped my sponge. Okay, so that is one layer. It's not bad. It's not settling yet, knock on wood. It doesn't look bad at all. I think I'm gonna try to go in with just a little bit more and see if it's buildable at all. So I'm just gonna pour a little bit more on the back of my hand. And let's see. So far so good. I'm going to continue on doing my makeup and then I will check back in with you once I'm all painted up. Okay, maybe two. I know that this is not a review of mascara, but I just thought I would throw it out there. This is the Skyrise NYC Lengthening Mascara. It's by NYC, which makes it drugstore, but this stuff is pretty amazing. I'm using it for the first time today, so I imagine that my opinion could change, but I just really love the length that it gave my eyelashes. I decided I didn't really need to put on falsies today because I really like it. This might end up in my favorites for December. Just never know. So far though, for sure. So far for sure. So this is just a check-in on the foundation that I'm wearing. I think the jury's out, so I'm not really sure. I think I will like this a lot more in the summer months because of how drying it is, and it's doing a lot better than I actually, to be completely fair, it's doing a lot better than I thought it was going to do. It is matte and poreless, and with my dry skin, matte foundation probably isn't a very good idea anyways. My skin is really dry. So far, I'm not hating it. I will say that. I'm not hating it so far. I will check back in another couple of hours. So we'll see. I'll be back. Another couple hours. I'll be back. So it's been roughly 10 hours, give or take just a little bit, since I put this foundation on. So I think I've had it on for a pretty good amount of time to be able to have a pretty good idea of what I think of it. I am ready to go take it off, especially I've had red lipstick on all day, so it's bleeding, and I was eating, so I have that, you know, red line that you get. Pretty colors though. This was a great color combination. Good stuff. I leave it in the description box below if you're interested. And I think overall I'm really impressed. I didn't expect to end up liking it as much as I did. All in all, I think it worked out really well. A lot of the times I'll cake up in here, you know, or in my T-zone, and I'm just not finding that it's caking that bad. It still looks really great even for the amount of time that it's been on. I would say ideally, if I was going to be wearing this on a day that I wasn't testing it, I probably would want to wear it when I was going to be able to take it off right around maybe the 8-hour mark. I'm not sure that I was doing anybody any favors wearing it much past that, because now everything else is starting to just not look good on it at all, and it's wearing off. You know, from eating, I'm wearing here, it's coming off. So if you are planning on wearing this foundation, be very aware that touching it is going to cause wearing. So be conscious of that, because it isn't going to stay on. If you're messing with it, it's not the kind of foundation that's going to be able to stand up to that. So it will absolutely wear off. And another thing that I would say is, when you're wearing this foundation, go easy on the powder, because especially if you're dry and you're going to be putting this on specifically for anti-aging type of foundation, wearing it that way, and ordinarily you would not want to be in a matte other than that, I would say go easy on the powder. Make sure you're wearing a very, very lightweight powder if you're going to be putting powder on, because it will cake up fast, very fast, and it won't take much at all to get you to that point, and it's just not going to look good. Once you reach that, there's just no going back other than to wash your face and start all over. So be very, very careful. You can always add more, but you cannot take away. So start light and add a little bit at a time, and be done as soon as you can be. And that's also going to take away from your amount of time as well. So again, use very light powder. Other than that, I think it's really great. I think this will look even better if I tested it again in the summer. I think that it would work really well even if you're dry. I think as far as using it as a foundation in the summertime, you could get away with using a little bit more powder, and it's going to do a really great job for any sort of sweating, and I think that it will stay, I think that it would stay on my face really well, and it's not gonna slide around like I have trouble with foundations in the summertime. So I'm definitely gonna try this one again. I think for the price, I like it. I like it. It's definitely better than the last one. That wouldn't have taken a whole lot, but definitely better than the last one. So, and it worked a lot better than I anticipated. I really didn't see this going well, which was kind of nerve-wracking, but it worked very well for what I needed it to do, and I'm very ready for it to come off now. Leave me any questions or comments below, any foundations that you've tried that have either worked really great for an anti-aging foundation, or you didn't like it at all. Leave that below as well. If you've tried this foundation, I'd like to know what your thoughts and opinions were when you tried it, and also make sure that you're leaving your skin type below as well, since everyone has very different skin types. I'm not just dry, but I also have eczema issues as well, so I'm extreme. I'm dry extreme. Yes, leave any thoughts or comments or questions below, and I look forward to talking to you more down there. I will have another video up for you soon, and until then, I love you. Bye guys.